Pocahontas's journey, the Sacred Glade. The shield surface stilled as Pocahontas received Mulan's message beside her favorite willow tree. Grandmother Willow's ancient branches swayed gently in a wind that carried whispers of change. The forest around them had grown unusually quiet, as if holding its breath in anticipation. "The spirits are restless, my child," Grandmother Willow observed, her weathered face appearing in her trunk. "They speak of the shard that has found sanctuary in the Sacred Glade, but reaching it will require more than just physical strength. It will test your connection to the land itself." Miko chittered nervously from Pocahontas's shoulder, while Flit hovered anxiously nearby. Percy sat at her feet, his ears perked up at the unusual atmosphere in the forest. Even the most familiar paths seemed different today, touched by the shard's mysterious presence. "Something is different about the wind," Pocahontas said, closing her eyes to better feel its movement. The colors of the wind, usually so vibrant and clear to her, had taken on new hues she had never seen before. "It's trying to show us the way." Following the wind's guidance, Pocahontas began her journey to the Sacred Glade. The typically well-worn forest paths shifted and changed before her eyes, branches weaving themselves into new patterns overhead. Leaves danced in impossible spirals, creating temporary doorways that opened and closed as she passed. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the local wildlife gathered to watch their passage. Deer stepped silently alongside them, their eyes reflecting an ancient wisdom. Ravens circled overhead, their calls carrying messages she could almost understand. The very earth beneath her feet seemed to pulse with each step, as if the heart of the forest beat in time with her own. Miko suddenly pointed excitedly at a cluster of mushrooms that glowed with an inner light. These luminescent fungi formed a trail through the underbrush, marking a path that hadn't existed moments before. Percy whimpered at the strange sight, but Pocahontas understood. The forest itself was helping to guide them. "The spirits of the forest are showing us the way," she explained to her animal friends. "Just as the river finds its path to the sea, we must trust in the wisdom of the land." She began to sing softly, an ancient song her people used to honor the spirits of the forest, and the glowing mushrooms pulsed in rhythm with her voice. As they approached the Sacred Glade, they found their path blocked by a magnificent eagle spirit, its ethereal form shimmering between solid and transparent. Its wings, when spread, showed glimpses of every forest that had ever existed or would exist. Its eyes held the wisdom of countless seasons. The eagle spirit watched Pocahontas intently, testing not her strength or courage, but her understanding of the delicate balance that connected all living things. Pocahontas met its gaze without fear, knowing that this guardian was not an obstacle to be overcome, but a teacher whose lesson she needed to understand. "Great Spirit," she addressed it respectfully, "I come not to take, but to restore. The shard's power belongs not to any one person or place, but to the balance of all things." As she spoke, she gestured to the forest around them, the trees, the animals, the very air itself, acknowledging the interconnected web of life that bound them all together. The eagle spirit's form shifted, its wings creating patterns in the air that told stories of ancient times when the worlds of spirit and nature were one. Pocahontas watched these stories unfold, understanding that the shard's power was similar to this primordial connection. It was meant to unite, not divide. Satisfied with her wisdom, the eagle spirit bowed its head and dissolved into mist, revealing the entrance to the Sacred Glade. Here, the shard floated in a shaft of sunlight, surrounded by a circle of white flowers that had never been seen in these woods before. Pocahontas stepped carefully into the circle, feeling the ancient power that pulsed through the earth beneath her feet. The flowers swayed toward her, their petals chiming like tiny bells. When she reached the center, she didn't simply take the shard. Instead, she knelt and pressed her palm to the earth, acknowledging the land's guardianship of this powerful artifact. The shard responded to her reverence, drifting gently down into her waiting hands. As she held it, the strange flowers transformed into familiar blooms, but now they carried a faint luminescence that would mark this place as sacred for generations to come. The forest seemed to exhale, its natural rhythms returning, but now with an added harmony that hadn't been there before. Miko, Flit, and Percy gathered around her, marveling at how the shard's light played through the leaves overhead, creating patterns that matched the colors of the wind. The forest felt more alive than ever, but in a way that celebrated the balance between the physical and spiritual worlds. That evening, as the sun painted the sky in colors that reminded her of the shard's light, Pocahontas used a still pool of water to contact Elsa. The surface of the pool crystallized slightly at the edges as she spoke. "The seventh shard honors the balance of nature, Elsa. Your kingdom of ice awaits its queen's touch."
Subscribe now and step into a new story where fairy tales come with a twist.